Hello, welcome, I'm Devilsniper and this is episode number 10 of my FIFA 13 guide and tips series. And today we're going to be looking at the Scouting Network. This was requested by the Russie18. He wanted me to look at the Scouting Network and give a few tips. So that's exactly what I'm doing. So first up, this is fundamental for me on the actual Scouting Network, is I personally would recommend looking for a scout who has good judgment. If you have a big enough budget, you know, the better the judgment, the better. So it really does depend on your budget. The reason I don't look for experience is, you know, experience will equal, they will locate you a good number of players. But it's like the old saying, you know, you want quality over quantity. Well, experience will give you quantity over quality. You know, they'll find you a lot of players, but you'll be looking at average players, the consistency of average players, which we don't want. We want quality players. So judgment, the harder judgment, the more chance of getting the quality players. They give you less players, but they give you better players. And ultimately, that gives you that opportunity to find the next David Beckham, the next Roy Keane, you know, the next Theo Walcott, etc. So what we're going to do now is have a look at what choice I have as scouts as West Ham. This is part of my West Ham career mode. I already have it set up. This is what we have. As you can see, it's not a great deal of choice. You know, if we want to spend 3.9 million, we get a 4 and a 4. You know, that's acceptable because he has quality judgment. I mean, Christ, a 4-star judgment is fantastic. But looking back at that John Britton had a 3-star. That's exactly what I've gone with, a 3-star. So now let's have a look at the globe. This is your Scouting Network. This is where we're going to scout the whole entire world. You know, North Europe, Central Europe, Southern Europe, South America, Asia, Africa, you know, the rest of the world. There's so many places, which is fantastic. Now, if you're actually looking at the scouting system, you actually do want to do more than one season. You're probably looking to do 2-3 seasons, or maybe even more than that. So, you know, getting this set up correctly is really a fundamental part of it. So, what we're going to do is have a look at 3 types of players that I would recommend, and where to find them. Where's the best place to find them? And I've tested this about 5 or 6 times. So first up, we're going to look for a gifted player, a technically gifted player. Now, I would recommend going to 6 to 9 months. It really does depend if you want to do it. I mean, it's a sake of a couple of, 60,000, I think it is. But yeah, 6 to 9 months. Always going to cost you 178,000. And we're going to go to Africa. Now, I recommend the Ivory Coast. I done this on 3 attempts, and I got players between 64 and 66, age 15 and 16. They both had a season. They've done really well, and they hit the 70s. So, you know, there's lots of potential there. Next up, we're going to go for an any type player. I'm not really fussed what we get, but I'm going to look in England. Now, the one thing you will find when you do it in England, again, 6 to 9 months. Always do 6 to 9 months. Never less than 6 months. Always will do 6 to 9 months. Most of the time I do 6. It depends. Further the field, I probably do 9 months. It just really depends. But what you'll find doing it in England, you will get a greater amount of players. Now, this is where the judgment comes in, because if you chose the guy with experience, you'd get twice the amount of players, and that's what you don't want, because you're just going to be filtering through average players. The judgment guy is going to give you a better standard of player, which is better. So, our final player we're going to look for is what we all want, a playmaker. We want a Lionel Messi. We all want a Xavi, an Iniesta. But we're going to go to South America, and yes, we are going to Argentina. And 9 months for this one. I would recommend 9 months, because depending on how your career mode actually goes and how the game gives you the players, it will take a little while to find that hidden gem, but you will find that hidden gem. I've tested these countless times. I've done sim throughs. I haven't done a full playthrough as yet, but I've done a lot of sim throughs. I've done a lot of this on like FIFA 12, and the gems are there, the superstars are there, and it's well worth having a little look. And 9 months for the playmaker. So I hope this has helped. You know, these tips are straightforward, and feel free to ask any questions.